I remember, was it Oprah once said that if you're gonna say something, just be sure that if it were to make newspaper headlines tomorrow, you're okay with it. So I've learned to go back, don't speak immediately, work on the emotions so that if whatever I say tomorrow makes headlines, hey, I can stand for it. My name is Boitumelo Lekalakala, and I am a communications officer at Mintech. I'm also an accredited marketer by MASA.
My name is Pumza Zweni. I am the executive manager for the RTI Operational Services Division.
Okay, Pumza. So I'd like to just know from you, as a senior manager, how do you deal with humps that you come across in the corporate space? How do you handle those?
Yes. In terms of humps, I think they come and go during one's career. What I've experienced is that maybe early in my career, the humps were a little bit manageable. I think as you advance up the career ladder, the humps become a bit big. And I've recently experienced, like a major hump, and all the tools that I had didn't really work. So I needed to get external help. So I got an executive coach to help me through those humps because I think they were quite major. But generally, you play to your strengths. And then where needed, you just seek help. So that's how I've navigated in terms of my career. But also, you just try and do what makes you happy.
Okay. I think I thought that the humps that we experience when we begin actually prepare us for the bigger humps. So it's interesting to hear that the tools that you learned from back then could not be applied into the bigger situation. So I'm just processing, and I'm just shocked that tools change as we grow. So did you find that because the tools didn't work anymore, even your strengths changed, even your weaknesses changed along that way, or you as a person you found yourself changing?
In this particular instance, I think it was the complexity of the challenge. I think because of that, I was finding that what previously worked did not really work. So, and also as people, we change with time. But let me just ask you, have you experienced sort of bumps in your career?
I've experienced a lot of bumps, and I've taken them as character development. Luckily for me, I'm also not a person who shies away from therapy. So if something weighs heavily on me and I can feel that, I'm calling depression from a mile away, I go to therapy. And also for me, I've grown to know that life is not only about maintaining my physical health. I mean, we go to the doctor to check your physical health, but you are an entire being. Your well-being is your physical, your mental, and your spiritual. So for me, therapy is just going for a mental check-in the same way I go for a physical check-in. So if that's what I do, if something weighs too much on me, and I speak out. I believe I speak out sometimes, maybe when I think I'm getting to that point. Sometimes I try to solve it on my own, but I've learned over time the importance of just sharing with someone. And then I guess sometimes during our tough times, we then find it difficult to stay motivated. How do you do it? Because sometimes it's just so tough, but you still have to show up. You still have to be motivated. You still have to give the best version of you. So how do you stay motivated even in your difficult times?
In terms of staying motivated, I think for me, I play to my strengths all the time. And every time when I do work, whether it's a new initiative or an existing initiative, I always give my best. So the motivational aspect of my work doesn't really suffer, because I'm constantly playing to my strengths, looking for new challenges wherever I go. And then in areas where you need improvement or assistance, you always get external help. You can't be good at everything, but there is a particular space where you'll do really well. And then when those challenges kick in, you need to dig deep. You need to dig there. And then I feel like if you do what you love as well, then I think you stay constantly motivated.
Oh, that's true. I also wanted to say, for me, I've also experienced that I needed to experience some of the challenges, because I think we don't fully know ourselves.
Yes.
Like the strength that I thought I had, I thought that those were my only strengths, but some situations taught me that experience a different environment, some other new strengths come out. So I appreciate the lessons of tough situations, because I think I'm constantly discovering myself, and I just love it. Like this new Boitumelo, I'm loving experiencing her. She's such a wonderful person that I didn't know existed, but it's because I was previously shaped by previous challenges.
Yes, and you would agree also that when you face challenges, those are the areas of growth, major growth. Like you're saying, they push you into the uncomfortable. They also force you to better understand yourself.
Thank you. And another question from me. Sometimes we are taught, your strengths, now work on your weaknesses. What is your take? Do we sharpen the strengths, or we try to polish the weaknesses?
Obviously, in terms of weaknesses, you always try, to improve. But I also find that if you dwell on your weaknesses, then you're not doing, yourself any good, right? Because weaknesses are there for you to be aware and also to grow, right? You need to build, areas where you are maybe weak. But I tend to not use those words. Yeah.
Okay. Last thing from my side, tough conversations. I think tough conversations are things I think about a lot, and sometimes we need to have tough conversations with colleagues. From your side, because you are a senior manager, you'd have to have tough conversations with the people you lead. How does one even begin to have a tough conversation? I'm asking this in the perspective of you don't want to ruin the relationship, or you still want that person to deliver, because other people don't take feedback properly. How do you navigate just having tough conversations?
I think, like you are saying, tough conversations, they are always tough. But at the end of the day, you need to confront some of the issues. I once had a manager who said to me when I had to, confront certain areas, he said, "You are not in a popularity contest." So that has always played at the back of my mind, because by you having those tough conversations, chances are high that you will not be liked. And I think at the end of the day, so long as the principles are right, and then it's just a matter of how do you have those tough conversations. I think you constantly need to have them in a respectful manner. And then from my end, I try to have them in a, constructive manner, where, I think both parties will sort of take that as a learning, session. But then there are those instances where you need to be tough. And then it's in having those instances where I think people understand what the expectations are, and then they'll be able to address the issues.
I think I'm taking note of the you're not in a phase where you want to be liked, because in general we want to be liked. So it's food for thought for me. It's it's something to really ponder upon, because sometimes you need things to go right.
Yes.
And I guess with some people, some situations, you just have to have the tough talk. I remember, was it Oprah once said that if you're going to say something, just be sure that if it were to make newspaper headlines tomorrow, you're okay with it. So I've learned to go back, don't speak immediately, work on the emotions, so that if whatever I say tomorrow makes headlines, hey, I can stand for it. So yeah.
That's quite interesting to look at it like that. I will sort of look at using that approach as well. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. That's all from my side.
Thank you.
This is Phase Ed Music.